What's up, Internet? Brandon here.
Begrudgingly for this segment with Jimmy.
It only gets worse from here. I do want everyone to know this is the turning point. We've been kind of reminiscing and rewatching the old X-Men films to, I guess, prepare ourselves for Deadpool.
Is it sad that we've been dreading these next two when we just started talking about it?
I started X1, and halfway through that, I'm thinking, I am going to get to X3, and I am going to get to Wolverine Origins.
It's painful.
It's
painful.
You know what, too? After rewatching X3, I can't tell if it makes me dislike X2 more or like X2 more, because it was like it was figuring itself out.
Yeah.
And it's like, should I shame it for not knowing it should have done differently? I don't know.
And it just, I don't even know where to start.
Rough.
I don't even know where to start.
Rough.
Yeah.
Like
the concept is fine. Like if you gave me a piece of paper and said, we're going to have a cure for the mutants and there's going to be sort of a civil war within the mutants over whether you want to take that or not, and then the humans are still there. Okay, on paper that looks good.
But like even
but that's not what happened.
Things have changed, right? But like for all intents and purposes, like Magneto just goes to LSI or Alcatraz with like just people in hoodies. Like they're not specific mutants. It's that thing that we complained about in the first two, where it's like you have this full catalog of people you can choose from, and it's like here's just 6 people with jumping powers. Like what the fuck was that?
My favorite scene, meaning the worst scene, is he's in a room full of mutants where they're protesting Magneto.
Yeah.
And literally the woman's like, you are by far, Calypso, by far the strongest mutant in here. Everybody else is weak. It's like, why the hell are you there then? Why are you recruiting the weakest mutants?
Like he was like, what's up, tool? Well, then later on, remember when they get to the island, he's like, that's why the pawns go first.
Yeah.
And it was like, so he loves mutants. He's all about the mutant cause, but he just sent like 50 of them to their demise. And he's like, that's why we sent the idiots first.
Who cares?
It's a lot. So even, okay, starting out.
Yeah. Well, let's start with the backstory on this. Bryan Singer decided to ruin 2 franchises in one.
It wasn't good enough to just fucking...
And he jumped ship and went to do Superman Returns.
On top of all the other things he's ruined, allegedly.
Yeah. So in comes Brett Ratner, who I didn't realize is just as bad with sexual allegations and all that.
Yeah, equally awful.
So
it was a fair replacement if they're judging it by those metrics.
And obviously Fox wanted it to get out at a certain time, so forced the new team to work with it. James Marsden, I love the dude, but I don't know why he jumped ship to go be a very minor role.
He was like, I'm going to go be Superman's cuck because I like working with Bryan Singer.
Instead of Cyclops.
Instead of Cyclops, I'm going to go be the fake baby daddy for Superman.
So he's in the movie for like 2 minutes, meaning X-Men 3 for like 2 minutes.
We won't even get on Superman Returns because now I want to bitch about that movie. But anyways.
So there's a whole bunch of pre-production problems.
Also, the attitude to begin with Cyclops is Jean is dead or been missing since whatever. Wolverine has like warmed up to the idea of being this like team player, and everybody else is an asshole now. Professor Xavier's he's like, I don't gotta explain myself, especially to you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Like, and then Cyclops too, and then Wolverine to just be like, hey man, why are you so down? And he's like, shit, Logan, my girlfriend died. Like,
and we recently sort of learned, because Matthew Vaughn, promoting other things, had come out and said he wrote a script for this and they had worked on it, and that's the one where the executive was like, oh yeah, we got Storm in here, big deal, awesome, she's gonna be awesome. We're like, we're gonna cut that out though when it comes time, just as long as Halle Berry signs on. And it's like, so Matthew Vaughn left because he didn't want to do it, and he came back for First Class. But it's like, well, that would have been way better than what we got.
I mean, just you took the team, you got rid of Cyclops. Jean is not there to begin with. You introduced Nightcrawler only to have him just disappear for some reason that's never addressed. Yeah, you just fucked off.
Damn.
It's like, see you later.
And they use, so I am a huge fan of George Lucas, so I love pushing the envelope of technology, but I admit fully there's many times where it sucks. And this movie, when they de-age Xavier and Magneto when you go to visit Jean Grey.
They look like you spray paint them with makeup.
Oh
It's
my
just like
God.
they're like he can't have any wrinkles.
So bad.
There's no natural wrinkle on this man's face.
So bad.
Yeah, awful. Then we have Cyclops, who goes back to the lake, which I assumed was like a 9-hour drive. He just gets on his motorcycle and is
They use the same boat that they used in Game of Thrones. Like just
just right over there.
Awesome, cool.
And then I like that they find Jean, don't see Cyclops, bring Jean back, and the second she regains consciousness, her and Wolverine are just going at it. You haven't even confirm Scott's dead, and Wolverine's like, snooze, you lose.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just
Finders keepers.
Yeah, like
Now, granted, if Famke Janssen approached me, yeah, I wouldn't think twice about Scott Summers. Screw you, dude. Screw you.
Chase approves of that.
Yes.
But then like even the Phoenix stuff, it would be hard to tie in the Shi'ar, so the setup you give in the second movie was just also thrown away. Instead, she becomes like a dark demon person. She murders Xavier. Yeah. She murders
Which again looks
Cyclops.
stupid.
Oh, that was awful. What a bad scene.
So stupid. And somehow Wolverine is like doing okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like they really like even like there's a point in the movie where Magneto is going to attack Alcatraz. He has an army of mutants, and Wolverine's getting everybody in their gear, and Iceman goes, "There's 6 of us," and that's the first time that I'm like, "Yeah, dude, that's a stupid idea. There's 6 of you,"
and it's so disappointing because they introduced some amazing mutants. Juggernaut as Vinnie Jones. Vinnie Jones is Juggernaut.
Okay, no. They introduced an amazing mutant. They introduced an amazing character named Juggernaut.
Yep.
They did nothing with him.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. Beast. Kelsey Grammer as Beast. One of my favorite castings ever. I love that idea. And then it was like, all right.
I got to tell you.
Cool, we're done.
The personality of Hank McCoy, I think that is a spot on thing. The rest of the movie with Beast is just... Also, their big plan at the end to get Magneto is literally a bait and switch diversion. He's like, they looked at everyone they had and they're like, how do we implement everyone to do something? Storm, just make fog.
Yeah.
He won't possibly know anyone's running around in the fog.
Wait. Like, Aurora, a.k.a. Storm, make fog.
Yeah. Like,
luckily, they didn't do that this time.
And then they fastball special him just to have it not work. And then he's like, just kidding. And then Beast is like, ha, I got you, bitch. Like,
and then one of the best characters, Magneto's right-hand woman, Mystique, the whole time. He's like, also in 2 seconds.
Oh, well, you're
Sorry,
not special anymore. Then I like, too, she's a wanted terrorist and murderer. Yep. All intents and purposes. And then just because she doesn't have powers, they let her walk into the White House and is like, I'll give up all Magneto's information. Like, they just have her in an office doing that. And he's like, ha, hell have no fury like a woman scorned.
So
and I'm
bad.
like,
so bad.
Fucking
Jamie Multiman shows up, who is like to me the most useless character in all of Marvel. I just don't like
there's some really good X Factor stories.
Sure,
he is a good character. Yeah. Don't do this. No, don't do the Jimmy thing.
Factor X in Age of Apocalypse was good. X Factor.
Peter David's X Factor run is outstanding. Sure. Don't you dare. It is. Look at this.
But what
Peter David does a great X Factor run, but they use him in this, but he's in 2 scenes where he just multiplies like twice.
But what I forgot he was even in.
He goes, so did I.
And then
I thought they used him.
And I'm looking at the actor. I'm like, God, he looks familiar. It's McSteamy or whatever from Grey's Anatomy.
Holy shit!
And I was like, oh my God! Thank God he found something else to do because they clearly never used.
He literally says, "I'm in."
Yeah.
And then I think his other line is like,
heat signatures.
You got the wrong guy. Like he said 2 fucking lines. Oh, the thing was
such a waste. Arc or Angel. This is why characters look cool in comic books, but Angel in this movie is so stupid.
You picked, like, what's his name?
I forgot, but I know.
Like, come on.
Yeah, great actor.
Great actor. Not who I'm expecting with Angel. And 2 scenes. Well, there's a scene in the movie where it looks like he's preparing to gear up with them.
Yeah.
And when that movie is being advertised, he was shown in an X-Men uniform.
Oh, that's funny.
And then he never does it in the movie. He just flies twice.
Yeah.
Waste of a fucking character.
Ran out of budget, I think.
You know what? You know what line I hated as much the first time as I did this time? The Juggernaut bitch line. That was stupid then. It's stupid now. It was bad all around.
And I love Vinny Jones. That dude. Do you
Vinny
know anything
Jones is
about Vinny
great.
Jones?
Yeah.
He was a professional soccer player in EPL.
Yeah.
And at one point, I
Didn't he
think
get like kicked out because he like
there was a 10 or 11-year-old kid at like halftime or warm up or whatever, and they were taking like running up penalty kicks against the keeper as a fun thing. He literally went in and tackled the kid.
Hell yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? Are you kidding me? What is wrong with you, dude?
Yeah, but now he's gonna learn. That kid's gonna learn. Like you're 11.
I saw
you got slid tackled by a professional player.
This is why I love British talk shows.
Yeah.
They reunited those two. As an adult now with Vinny Jones. And Vinny Jones like, you got what you deserve.
Exactly. See? Okay. Either
Something's
way,
wrong with that dude.
Vinny Jones is the best.
Bullet Tooth Tony, man.
Yeah. But this was just, and it felt too because you're getting rid of Cyclops.
Yep.
You're getting rid of Jean Grey. You have Storm. You got rid of Xavier. So it's like, I don't even know what the plan was at this point. At the end of the movie, Xavier's mind jumps into this frumpy vegetable body that they reference halfway through the movie about, is it ethical to put a conscience inside of another man's body? But like, what was the game plan to follow this up?
I think I got it. It just occurred to me. That is how Palpatine came back. That old dude became Palpatine. And that's how he became.
You're worse than Reddit.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I am.
Jimmy, worse than
but
Reddit.
You're right. Like, so we now have the trilogy, and I think this is maybe the second or third time I've seen this movie because I did not want to see it. So I'd forgotten so much that it happened because I like blocked it out. It was so bad.
It was awful.
Like, what are the things we didn't talk about? Who saves the day? Who's the hero? Wolverine against Jean Grey. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, also the fact.
Are you kidding me?
I did have an audible ha when he like finally gets to her and he goes, "I love you," and kills her. And I'm like, based on what?
Yeah.
Like, she was dating another man the entire time.
Yep.
You've been here for what, 3 years? I don't know the timeline of all that, but like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
He forgot all his other loves.
You know what? I'm doing a lot of X-Men rewatching. We've done these. I have more of these awful films to get through. I rewatched the animated series, and I just finished X-Men Evolution. Just want to throw this out there. X-Men Evolution is a far better cartoon than I ever gave it credit for. I would suggest everybody here watching it. It's what Ultimate X-Men should have been, the comic book, which we'll talk about that in a segment at some point. But it's a really good. It's a good 4 seasons of a show.
That's good to know because the movies, like, I don't know why I had such fond memories of these movies because rewatching them,
they're rough.
But now it does make 2, meaning the actual production quality and everything that happened in 2, that much better because 3 was so bad. But it does make you like, the trilogy sucks, so I don't care.
The production quality was much better too. It was very strange. But
yeah.
The point I was bringing up though is it's kind of got me excited for whatever they have planned with the Fantastic Four and with any X-Men news coming out of either Deadpool or the Avengers movies. Because like as older nerds, there was a time when X-Men were the top team, the top franchise. Nobody I grew up with was an Avengers fan.
No.
Like if you didn't read comic books, nobody knew who the fuck the Avengers were.
We've talked about this. When we first started doing this, 2010, like Iron Man was sort of a non-entity.
Yeah.
2008, whatever, the movie came out, and then he got huge. I remember being at Free Comic Book Day, and the first time I've ever seen this, people showed up in Iron Man costumes. That had never happened before.
Even with the X-Men movies, you didn't see.
I mean, there was a point where Marvel ferried out these Iron Man, Captain America image because they're like, we need somebody to make these worthwhile because nobody's reading this shit.
Yeah.
And that's when X-Men and Spider-Man, that was it.
But
those
like
were the
they
books that were read.
ruled the world.
Yeah.
And ever since Iron Man came out, they took a back seat, even in comics.
Yeah.
For like those of you that don't know, when Fox still had the rights before Disney bought Fox, the X-Men and the Fantastic Four series took back seats. They were not.
Well, they stopped Fantastic Four.
They stopped Fantastic Four for a minute, and X-Men was just kind of floundering.
Yeah.
So it is. I am a little excited to maybe see those two teams be the
I hope
main
so.
spotlight.
Because there were some awesome storylines. To me, I got out of comics at Age of Onslaught. I hated that comic book storyline.
It was bad.
It was
bad.
so bad.
It was a bad
I
story.
got out of X-Men. I don't know what happened after that. Although we talked, and
Well, that was Heroes Reborn and all that. And
Brandon gave me the update when I got back into comics in the 2010s. All my guys that I loved were like evil, bad, doing something stupid. I'm like, this sucks.
yeah, everything. This is what happens. It's what happens. Either way, X3, not great. God, now I got to watch Wolverine Origins next.
I'd like to say it's the worst in the franchise, but we still
Oh,
have one coming out.
we got a few ahead of us.
I can't even say that.
Okay, well, let's move on to the next one.